Now, straight after the break, we'll have a brand new episode of Kent Film Club. It's our programme where figures from across Kent come into the studio to discuss their 4 favourite films. This show's presenter, Chris Deacy, joins me in the studio. Now, Chris, welcome. Something a little bit different this week because you've brought some of your old film tickets that you've gathered from over the years, haven't you? So they look very different now. They're usually on our phones now, aren't they? But you've gathered quite the collection of tickets.
Well, this is what I used to do going back to the 90s because, of course, we didn't have mobile phones in those days, so we couldn't have tickets that we could just present to the vendor. We'd have to buy our tickets, of course. These days we just get them in advance, but then you turn up on the day and hope that there were some seats remaining. So I didn't intentionally keep all of these, but I did used to sort of stuff them into an envelope. You can see one of the envelopes there.
Yeah, this one says 1998 to 2009.
Yeah, so all the films that I saw in that kind of period. So, looking back, it's incredible. Like
it's
Full
amazing.
Monty, I can see Fierce Creatures, which was the sequel to A Fish Called Wanda.
That's the thing. Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. I mean, there are so many here. Even you can see the cinema logos have changed since then. It is so interesting, and it's part of what makes films nostalgic, isn't it? It's having that almost token to take away from you and remember that you saw this film on this date. And I'm going to pick out a random one and see where you were in the past couple of decades. So, on the 3rd of April, 1998. Do you remember what you saw? It'd be pretty impressive if you did.
Around that time, there was a Mel Gibson film, I know. So what does it say there?
It was Sphere you saw.
Oh, I did.
In Swansea.
I did. One Saturday morning, I think it was, and I went down Dustin Hoffman. It was actually one of those sort of sci-fi films that works a lot better. The reviews were quite tepid, but sort of playing on like 2001: A Space Odyssey. Sharon Stone as well.
And then we've got a slightly different looking ticket here, sort of when you compare it to
Art
that
House
one.
Cinema in Cardiff, the Chapter Arts, Love and Death on Long Island.
Was that a good one?
That was a really good one. Very
Incredible.
sort of culture shock, British and American
That
culture.
was also 1998, but you've got some here, haven't you, from a little bit
earlier.
more...
I've got Mrs. Doubtfire in here.
Such a great
Sleepers,
film.
that really is a good film. Just picking a few of these at random here. Dangerous Minds, with Michelle Pfeiffer, the one that's set in a school. Some of these are really faded. I can barely read them.
Do you think...
Sense and Sensibility, the Jane Austen adaptation.
Do you think it's a shame now that we have these tickets on our phones? Because, in a couple of years' time, I probably won't remember the films I saw in one year, whereas you've got this for however long you want it. I know they're starting to fade.
Well,
but...
some of them are starting to fade, but I've moved house a few times over the years, but I've made sure that I've taken the tickets with me because, you were mentioning about the cinema companies. I mean, UCI doesn't exist anymore as a company, so the logos have changed. And it's also, it's like a hard copy reminder that I actually went to see these films because you know what it's like sometimes when you think, I think I saw it, but I can't remember when, or if you've seen a film multiple times, sometimes you forget, but this is almost like the proof that it actually happened. This is when I went to watch it, and all the memories. Mars Attacks. God, this is putting me in full nostalgia mode.
It's taking you back. Oh well, Chris, it's been really interesting. We'll have to do this again. You have to bring some more of your memorabilia in. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you.